Hello there, and welcome to the highlights of our Season 1 Viewer Championship. Now, if you don't know what this is, basically there was a suggestion to put together a grid based on drivers made by the people who watch my channel, my live streams that are on my Discord, and we did exactly that. We set up a set of rules for how you could create your driver in order to avoid min-maxing and trying to get a little bit of diversity in how the drivers are built, and we kind of put together a grid with 20 of you. Now, we're actually going to do this again tomorrow. The grid has already been set, so if you are curious about this and want to have a look, come and drop by the stream. You can find that in the pinned comment. But basically, the premise is very simple. We put together a grid with 20 of the viewers on the channel. We had every team try and be as balanced as we could allow. We also balanced the staff, and then we saw who kind of came out on top here in what was quite the interesting event, honestly. So with that out of the way, let me just introduce who participated in this first time, and then we will take a look at how the races went and how everyone performed. So starting off with Red Bull, we have Tenno and Tennovox, as well as Strictly Die Bombs. These guys are brothers in real life, so good to put them on the team. Mercedes, we have Hot Dog and Parker Petrov. For the Ferrari team, we have Jasper Scally and David Patch. For McLaren, Sertai and Cosby. For Aston Martin, we have Tiny Raptor and Razak. For Alpine, we have Floof and Holy Tekka. Williams, Reverend, and THFC. Opity and Nieto KT for the RB team. Schumacher and Corey Vastbank for Sauber. And finally for Haas, we had Edsa and Poco Naldo. So again, all of these drivers were created by viewers of the channel based on a set of rules. You can see on the screen, pretty basic, but it did get the job done. And as such, we ended up with drivers that range from 83, I believe, as the highest, to 80 here, or even 77 as the lowest. Nieto here was one of those extreme min-maxes that kind of made things a little bit interesting, because here he did actually go insane with his driver and invested all of his points into adaptability here, hoping that we would have some fun with the rain, which, to be fair, was a fun gamble. Didn't really pan out. We had another gambler in Floof, where is that man? Floof here, who invested basically everything into defense. So as you can imagine, we had some fun meme builds that maybe didn't work out too great, but honestly, it was all in good fun. Now, because this is kind of a shorter viewer championship, we did also go ahead and alter the race calendar. We only had 8 races available for this one. And the way that we did it, these aren't actually the races, so this is me before I edited them. But basically, we had 8 races available, and we allowed them to be 50-50 rain and 50-50 dry, which also made things a little bit more interesting. But yeah, let's see what happened here over the 8 races that we did this season and how everyone performed. If there was any, well, interesting moments, let's just say that. Now, before we jump into this, as a disclaimer, I also had my team be a part of it for the first 4 races, and then we decided that a manually controlled team by me was a little bit too much to deal with. So it did make a mess out of the first season here. I'm going to be perfectly honest. The results would have been quite different if I didn't participate. So from the fifth race and this next season, my team will be in charge of just basically the commentary. We'll be retiring at start races, and in quality, we'll have one car participate just so we can see what happens in Q2 and Q1. The placements are still going to be really, really accurate. So with that, let's take a look at what actually happened. Hope you enjoy. This was a lot of fun to be a part of. Thank you all to everyone who participated. Let's see what Season 1 had to offer of the Viewer Championship. Okay. Let's see how the getaway gets there in the front. Good getaway for the leader. Opity is moving ahead here. Are we going to have a lap 1 incident, or are we going to be okay? Ty and David are fighting their own little battle down here. And in terms of the rest here, Floof is slowly but surely falling to the back of the order. First crash. Hot Dog is our first car with damage.
We're following the action through turn 5.
Gonna be a lockup, and I guess he's gonna touch the wall. No, that must be. He's picked up underfloor damage. All of them. Are we gonna have pit mayhem here? Tennovox held up a little bit. How about Edsa? He is currently winning the pit. No, never mind. He had to stop at the end. My bad. He is being held up massively here. Just parked. Oh. What's happening to Adster? Did they give up? The heck? Adster and Poconaldo get absolutely shafted by don't even know what. Off the pits, Hoppity still the big winner. Petrov in second. We have Tenorx in third. Maka in fourth. Nieto in fifth. Bets are coming on now for everyone. Tekka and Poconaldo are the only ones that don't have them. And David jumps up into second place. And Jasper up into fourth. Can the Ferrari team hold on here with basically no tires versus a lot of tire? How is this actually going to play out, to be fair? Are they going to be able to hold on? Are they just going to get absolutely demolished? I honestly don't know here. But it was a brave attempt, and it's kind of what I would have liked to try doing. And both Ferraris double stack. They double stack on the Inters. Honestly, at actually a pretty good time. I'm not going to lie. This is actually basically a good time for them to do this. And we're going to do it on this following lap, of course. But the double stack, I think they could have been without. Not going to lie. But Ferrari strategy might be cooking a little bit here.
Aston Martin. Whoa, and there it goes. And I wonder, could they have...
Adster is still parked in the pits. I don't know if they're bugged right now. But it definitely seems like there is something... Okay, that was at least a proper stop. But Adster getting shafted twice is not on my bingo card. We'll have to take a look at that after the race here. It's going to dries. It is, but... we still have rain for the next... well, basically 16 minutes. You are not living on a wet tire for the next 17, 18 laps until it goes dries. That is not happening. So anyone that is staying out right now, they're actually kind of just handing Ferrari a 1-2. Finally, Red Bull has pulled the trigger. So has Williams, RB, Maka. Even Tekka is coming in. So this should be getting a little bit closer right now. But yeah, Cosby, Raptor, Chai, Vasek, Petrov, and Hoppity are all kind of shooting themselves in the leg here. It's 2.6 millimeters. The gains are going to be massive here, particularly for the Ferraris the longer they stay out. And finally, Hoppity does come to his senses and comes into the pits. I think Hoppity can still clear this. Petrov, Vasek, Ty, Raptor, Cosby, everyone is now in the pits. Let's see how far up the Ferraris do end up here. I think they are going to get Petrov, at least one of them are. And that is true. They're basically back to where they were after the wet stops. But this time, the tire difference is significantly better than the last time around. So Ferrari doing a good job. They probably still have given Hoppity the win, though. Red Bull find themselves 5th and 6th. We have Brevard in 7, Nieto in 8. We have Maka and Vasek taking up the last 2 point scoring positions. First puncture has arrived. Mark it down. Dive bombs picked up the first puncture. And that is going to put points on the table for someone else. He's also going to hold up some cars here. Nieto, the 2 McLarens getting absolutely put to pasture here. And Schumacher here being the first one to actually pit of the Inter runners. Ty does the same. Can they close down the gap here in the next few laps and catch the cars ahead? Old softs. How about Ty? Are you two going for all softs? We have Poconaldo and Floof also in the pits. Floof just kind of parking there.
Now, down to the pits. There's been a hold
I can't imagine what has actually happened here. It's because I changed the sporting directors. So we might need to go to the editor after this one and do a little bit of a pit crew reset, so to speak. Hoppity is parked. Petro is also leaving. Reverend is in, getting some new tires on. David is also getting some new tires on. Nieto is staying out. Going for a mad play here. But yeah, Hoppity, Petrov are both safe here. And we'll have to see how Nieto's going to survive this one. Currently, 3 seconds. Petrov, another second down to Nieto, who's on Inter still. He's not really a contender here. David is looking for a 4th place, and we have Cosby still on Inters. We have still THFC on Inters. Rasek is still on Inters. Nieto finally jumps into the pits. And how is this going to affect everything? The Red Bulls have completely fallen off here with the last set of pit stops. But we do need to figure this out. Ty does do that. And also here, dive bombs get Vasek on the final DRS straight. We do have a short one, but not really a lot of overtakes happening there. But yeah, fastest lap. 1:15.1 for Uppity. Petro second. David gets third in his first race. Jasper gets that fastest lap back. Reverend ends up 5th. Tenebox 6. We have a 7th place finish here for Schumacher. Annie Raptor holds off Ty, I believe, for 8th place here. I think that is what is going to happen. Ty 8 and Dive Bombs just barely gets ahead of Vasek here for that last point.
The circuit looking quite damp.
Look at this man.
And you can see how the cars come together.
That was
And they'll have to
from mediated assault. I also have temporal damage. Yeah, you broke your front wing, Gosby. We'll have to see how we recover from this one. But yeah, that was kind of an insane moment there. Insane send. We didn't even get a safety car, if I'm not mistaken. You got strolled? It's basically peak that the first car that gets taken out, and this is me. But it happens. We'll deal with it. We'll have to see if Cosby can also recover. Damage-wise, I think he got a little bit less than me. We do have a safety car. The Sauber, Schumacher, and I see an Alpine ahead of him. Oh. Dassen just gave you a little bit of a love tap there. Hoppity, as well as Taker. Both of them are coming in. Wet tires and just parked over there for a second.
Oh, it looks like a pit
That was a pit stop issue though, so that one is understandable. But yeah, if this number of interrunners stay out, I could see that being very problematic here for the Williams. We also do have Floof now up into a astonishing 5th position. So it depends on how many cars actually stay out here. That's going to be the deciding factor on how this is going to work out for us. Because if all these cars stay out, then Reverend needs to make his way through these guys. And Floof can still be a problem. Again, remember, Edster, THFC, Dive Bombs all have pretty fresh inters. They can still cause some problems. Floof has decided that he's had enough of being the wall. His moment of glory was short, but beautiful. And we now witness him put on the wet tires as it's getting drier. In true Alpine fashion. But yeah, Floof is flying at the moment. Oh! Oh! What do you get with 20 drivers with low control and accuracy? Okay. Are we ready to watch death? I can't see anything, but that is 1, 2, 3 cars on the side. Better angle, for sure. So, both Williams have taken front wing damage. That's clear. Dive Bombs is parked... I don't even know where you're parked, mate. Oh, middle of the corner. Nieto is turned, unfortunately, and we have the last one here. So all 5 of you have been involved in some sort of weird lockup, by looks of it. Tenno and... David is fine. David had damage. Tennobox ran directly into... into Teeny Raptor and picked up some front wing damage. What is Floof going to do? It's just going to... Floof, if you stayed out 2 more laps, Floof. 2 more laps. 2 more laps was all you needed there. For greatness. 2 more laps. Oh, Alpine versus Alpine violence there almost. So what happened here? Schumacher was the starting point, I guess? No, never mind. I want to see what happened at the front of that, not the back. Give me more replays. I need more replays on what happened. Am I not getting them? That's a shame. On. It is wet tires for everyone, kind of what we expected. And we are going to go full attack for one lap and then start managing. Let's see what we can do here with this race start. So, decent enough start from Floof. Oh, is it going to go 3 wide? Nope. Nieto got a 10-second penalty. That is taking out 2 cars that he's getting penalized for.
Now with the Haas.
Punishment for his crime.
Right here. And there's the lockup. Just unable to control the car by that point. The wheels just lock up there. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that that had on the tires.
Back to damp. 5 laps remaining. Tires are in danger. Who is going to survive till the end here? Yellow flag. Red Bull versus Ferrari violence. And a safety car. So many people just got saved. So many people just got saved. It's not even funny. And see what we can do here. We're also going to keep an eye on... There we go. Puncture. Coconaldo gets a puncture as the final lap starts. Holds everyone up a little bit as a result of that too. Basically protecting all of the wet runners there. Coconaldo's sacrifice will be remembered for times to come. And in terms of leader here, what are we looking at? Well, the 2 front runners are doing great. Edse could also still explode if he pushes too hard in the last few corners. Teka is currently holding on to 10th. Not really too much he can do, honestly. Looks like we have somewhat survived here, all the wet runners. It's a shame. 1 lap earlier and this would have looked a lot spicier. Petrov is going to come in here for the win. BKK is going to try and take Floof. Let's see what happens here with the order. So, Petrov wins. Vasek second. Dog gets 3rd. Ty gets 4th. Rasek gets 5th. Jasper gets a 6th place finish. Edse survives barely to a 7th place finish. Pioneer Raptor gets 8th. Hippity Hoppity 9th. And Teka gets 1 point here for Alpine. 1 very, very valuable point. And Floof almost loses the bet, so to speak. That's unfortunate for Coconaldo. He's still trudging along on that broken tire of his. Jasper, P1, Hoppity P2, Cosby P3, but it's going to get penalized. Reverend 4th, Rasek 5th. What are the last remaining people going to do here? Vasek goes pole. High goes 3rd. Dog goes provisional pole. Vasek 7. Vasek 2nd. Jasper 3rd. And BKK only can do 7th place. Mercedes making a grid sandwich here. Pretty decent start to the race itself, and we have immediately a yellow flag as BKK locks up and just gets sent to the absolute shadow realm.
Yes, we have. We've had a crash. What
I'm
happened there?
I'm just amazed he didn't take anyone out. Look at this.
Now, see what happened. Just
Why do you jinx yourself, Loof? Whee!
seen a few go off the track there, fighting with the car. Oh no! Why'd they go? And they'll find themselves at a disadvantage.
We have the race lead into the pits. Same with the top 4 here. I assume they're all going to go wets, and it does kind of make sense. Don't get me wrong. I tried to gamble again. This gamble also failed. So we'll have to deal with that. But yeah, Hot Dog makes it out in first, Jasper in second, Hippity Hoppity in third. We have Aztec in fourth, Cosby in fifth, making a very good comeback. Razek sixth, Poconaldo in seventh here, up into sixth now. So undercut, worked out just fine. And Floof is actually in the points. But the tire disadvantage here might become a lot more pronounced as this goes on. And I'm curious here how this is going to go in top 10 here. Are we going to get an immediate new? Yes, it was me. Just right the spun this time. Should be fine, basically. Tekka gets... how do you spin at that pace?
And the rear just lets go.
That is unfortunate for the Alpine driver. We'll have to see what the remaining wet runners do, as Hippity Hoppity does get into the pits here. Where exactly is he going to come out? Reverend and Ty does the same thing. At least a clean stop there. Hippity Hoppity, he comes out behind both Dog and Cosby. Poconaldo is now in sixth, with still 2 wet runners ahead of him.
Having an issue in the pits.
Dive bombs to a slow pit stop, and we still have Schumacher here doing well. Floof is back in the points. 4 cars ahead. That needs to pit, and he is within range of all of them.
Struggling with the car. The conditions clearly causing problems.
Maybe it'll matter a little bit more than I thought. Nah, he's still fine. Ed's still far back there. Who's to blame? BKK? Wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Let's see here, Poconaldo. Hippity Hoppity. Cosby. Last couple of corners. Probably nothing to be done, unfortunately. We have a winner here in Hot Dog. We have a second place in Cosby. Hippity Hoppity gets that final podium slot with Poconaldo taking fourth. Schumacher is coming in here in fifth place. Ty gets sixth as the seventh. Floof scores some points there with 8th place finish. Razek gets me on the line. And we score just a single point here today, unfortunately. Reverend gets a weird penalty, shall we say. And BKK is just going to have to nurse his way home with a destroyed front wing. And just kindly hands that position to Tekka, feeling he needed the mentality boost. It's a wet qual here in Vegas, which is going to make things spicy. I say that too often too, but it is kind of true. I think Jasper said out of contention, and his driver just like, you bet, fam. You absolutely bet.
Let's take a closer look. Now this was the 7th corner. And ends up making
How did he even pull that off?
But no matter the severity
Last to
of the
first?
crash,
It could be.
It's always good to see.
We'll have to see. We have Red Bulls 3rd and 4th at the moment. What can Razek and Revenant do? Razek 4th, Revenant on pole. Razek was the 4th. Both the Mercedes continue their dominance here. Revenant 3rd, Poconaldo 4th. And what can poor little BKK do? He puts in 4th.
From there,
What is
here
this?
we are following the Alpine.
The Alpines are cursed, as it turns out.
Just flies into that crash. That will have knocked their confidence, I'm sure.
Did you stop and then drive into the wall, Tekka? And Hot Dog and Poconaldo does come in kind of like predicted. Hard tire for Dog. And for Poconaldo, apparently I'm not allowed to see him. That looks like a medium tire. What is Nieto going to? Another medium tire. Another slow stop from the Haas boys.
Now this was the Sauber. Oh, that's where they hit the wall.
Cosby is finally pitting onto a soft tire, so he's definitely doing another stop. Just no way around that. And with that, I believe everyone now has pitted once, with the exception of BKK. And I will accept that.
Here we are then looking at turn 12. Oh, and there wasn't a lot that could be done to avoid crashing into the barrier. And that's not what they would have had in mind when they woke up this morning. A sense of deja vu here as the drivers once again face the countdown. It's lights out.
Not the best start. Reverend is going to take the lead. I think the rest, though, is going to be fine. Tenavox holds on to third. Dog in fourth. Rasik fifth. As the sixth, Petrov, sorry. Seventh, Nieto eighth. We have THFC ninth. And Dive Bomber Ant. Who is the culprit here? Is it Edster and Poconaldo? Is this the first teammate crash we've had so far? That is not a good showing from Haas.
And the car just locks. What caused that, I wonder?
Crash involving multiple cars. Schumacher and a Haas. Just a destruction of property. Can still keep on going. ERS is empty. We'll turn it to neutral then. To be fair, we're also doing a bit of a fight here, but I don't think it's gonna matter much for the podium here. Unfortunately, Dive Bombs is not quick enough for that one. And we are going to be retiring both cars starting next session, which is tomorrow. But he does get it back. We don't have ERS to really fight that. Dog versus Revenant. Oh, that is the wrong way. I wanted to go to one time. My bad. But BK wins. Petrov gets second. Dive Bombs third. Fourth here with no fuel. Reverend fifth. Rasik sixth. Dog seventh. 8 for Tenavox. And then we have the two Ferraris finishing at the points. Points 15 seconds. Honestly, he can actually make it here if he gets a move on and get by everyone. And the second I praise Dog for getting into something a little bit, he crashes. That is unfortunate.
Clearly unable to take evasive action.
That's an insane spin. And for Poconaldo, he's just hoping that someone destroys their tires. Rasik has gotten a puncture here. Not that surprising. AI decides to just absolutely full send it. Let's see what happens with that final DRS. Well, the final main DRS on here for a couple of teams. Can Nieto hold off? And if he can't, can he retake that position? David goes up into third, but the fight isn't over yet. Nieto fights back. We have Tenavox trying and failing to get that 6th place back. Further down the grid, we have Poconaldo. Then overtaken by Hippity Hoppity. He's going to have a really, really tough job here of getting that point scoring position back. Nieto, unfortunately, has basically very similar tires to David. Just unfortunately couldn't get it done. And we are seeing Harry here crossing the line for his first points and his first win. Both in one package. Reverend gets second. David gets third. Nieto scores his first points with a 4th place finish. Tekka scores some suspicious points for Alpine. Rafter gets 6. Tenavox 7. We have Dive Bombs in 8th. The brothers doing okay. With damage, just nursing themselves to the end of this race. Vasbeck gets 9th. Hippity Hoppity, who probably should have pitted like 2-3 laps earlier and would have ended way higher, ends up with the last point. Cosby sets at time here, 1:57. What can Nieto do? He puts in a 7/10 better time. And for Tenavox here, who is going to be our first one across the grid, what can we expect? We're going to slow this a little bit down here, see if this might be better. This just gives us also a better idea when people cross the line. Tenavox should be able to put it on pole. He fails. Reverend, pole so far. Hippity, Hoppity. Poconaldo gets his second place. Dog gets in there. And this is, I believe, our final grid. Reverend starts pole. Williams continue their strong form here. Poconaldo, second in a has. Destroying everyone's expectations. Hippity Hoppity and Nieto, third and fifth in their RBs.
And away we go.
Away we go here. Reverend, Poconaldo. Just to take a quick look at what everyone is. Raptor and Tekka has been put up in top 10. We do have both Ferraris lined up in the pit lane. That's a shame, but that's kind of how it goes when one gets a major failure and the other one gets a red flag. And Dive Bombs for the second race in a row lines up next to us. What a man, what a myth, the legend. Oh, Harry, who is on the outside there. And Aston just bullets his way past. Will almost get sent into the wall, depending on who you ask. Teeny Raptor here. Harry comes and re-overtakes. No damage to the cars. We're in the side to pit. Here in Baku. Dog is having a fairly clean stop. How about Reverend? Clean, but slow to let go. And he does 2 pit, actually. Hot Dogs comes out in 9th. Reverend down in 12th. Does lose a couple of places there, if I'm not mistaken, to Dog. They're still in that same DRS train. And this does spicing up. Poconaldo now in the lead with a couple of seconds to go on. And he is on a medium tire. Blue here could be cooking more than we anticipated. He's on a hard tire. Everyone who will be pitting is most likely to end up behind him. With the exception, of course, of Hippity Hoppity. So Floof could just have found himself as the kingmaker for this race. The spice is on. Red flag. Lap 24. First and second take each other out. Hippity Hoppity. Oh my god. Dog locks up, crashes, and takes out Hippity Hoppity.
It's not going the way the team had hoped today.
Mercedes, they're taking out their rivals.
Lights out.
Good start for Reverend. Better start here from Tekka. Poor start from Tenavox puts him down into 3rd and potentially even further down. Ty and Poconaldo have both benefited, 4th and 5th here. We have the Astons in 6th and 7th as the rain arrives. And Cosby is down in 8th, Nieto 9th. Harry has been promoted back into the points there, although Dive Bombs might take that from him. Now, the more important question here, with the expectations of rain being as they are, has anyone been dumb enough to equip the wet tires? Have anyone opted to do a moment of silence for Parker Petrov here and the Mercedes tactical wall? And if it stays as it is in terms of standings, we are going to be seeing Reverend here move closer to Petrov. However, if he wins, he is going to take the lead in the championship. Hot Dog and Hippity Hoppity have no way of scoring points here. Tekka might move himself up into a very interesting position here if he does well. With 2 races remaining, I guess it could be closer. And again, if Reverend scores a good number of points here, could be Williams versus Mercedes for the constructors. And we have everyone going into the pits right now. The fun begins. Which madness can we expect here? Raptor stays out. Dive Bomb stays out. And actually, we have more people staying out here. Is that a slow stop from Reverend? It is. Reverend having a pit stop issue here puts him down behind Tekka again. Tekka having a clean stop for once puts him ahead of both Ferraris here. That's actually the best time pit stop in the history, maybe, perhaps. Teka comes out ahead of 2 Ferraris that are going to be a little bit of a problem to get by. They're not going to be a huge problem, mind you. But you have to get by them one at a time here. And as they are on inter-tire still, both of them, by the way. Peak Ferrari strategy. That's going to be rough. That's going to be very, very rough. Ty is currently net second. We have net third here for... Oh, I only meant to click once. For Tenebox. Reverend, after getting that slow pit stop, isn't currently net fourth. On a medium, he's definitely going to be pushing. Ronaldo net fifth. And I don't know where everyone else is kind of stacking up there. It's going to depend a little bit on the pit stops. And we have mechanical failure for leader. We have a yellow flag as David has hit the wall, I assume. And picked up some damage.
And unable to do anything about that crash.
Unable to hold on, unfortunately. Crashed right there. But to be fair, weren't really in a point scoring position, so it's not going to have a huge effect. I don't think you damaged any components. Need to look at it from a positive note here. But Teka and Ty now are going to have a little bit of a battle. Ty picking up failure. I know that... Did he have a failure to begin with? He picked up a failure now on the basically second to last lap. It's going to make things a little bit more problematic for him. Teka gets the overtake done, has fastest lap. Can Ty here get him back? He's going to have the DRS down this straight. Is it going to be enough to get the first place back? And the survey says yes. He gets the place back. There is still going to be one more drag race, but unfortunately, he doesn't do the corner well. And Teka just slides back into first place. Drag race to the line here. DRS for one car. And he is going to get it back. What about the Red Bull here? Unfortunately, couldn't get that. Ty gets the win back on the final stretch. Teka comes second. We have a little bit of a kerfuffle there with the other two. But yeah. McLaren win. Ty beats Teka to the line. Photo finish. Teka unfortunately could not hold on. Even with the damage Ty got, he held on, got the win. Tenebox takes the last podium spot. We have 4th and 5th here for the Williams cars. Ronaldo with a decent finish for Haas. The Astons 7th and 8th here, after basically running in formation for a couple of laps. Cosby 9th, and Fluke scores the final points. Here with the starting grid for everyone. Jasper puts it on pole. Reverend is now second. Vaspek third. We have Tenebox fourth. Hot Dog with a penalty to serve is fifth. Schumacher sixth. Diebomb seventh. Hippity Hoppity is now eighth. And Petro is ninth. So kind of a reverse-ish top 10 here. The Mercedes supremacy has been put on hold, as we've had an incident involving Hot Dog and the Ferrari. This time, though, it wasn't Hot Dog's fault. Hot Dog was innocent of this crime, unfortunately. We have pit lane madness beginning already here. Everyone is pitting under this safety car. The Saubers are going to double stack. The Red Bulls are double stacking. Who is going to have the cleanest stop here? Sauber is good. What about the second Sauber? Second Sauber is good. We have Jasper getting 5th here. Reverend holding on to 3rd. Tenebox up into 4th. Sauber 1-5 right now. Petro up into 6th. Why is my camera doing the boogie? Hoppity in 8th. Diebombs in 9. Cosby is no longer 11th. He's 10th. Nieto has taken the questionable honor of being the 11th driver on the grid. So, in terms of the top 4, they all need to pit at one point. Ty is going to go long. Pray for a safety car, red flag, anything like that. And everyone below him has already pitted. It's just the top 4 left. And let's face it, they've been undercut. All of them. Harry, when he pits, is going to come out basically at the end, tail end of the points. Jasper is going to come out even further behind. So yeah, let's see now with these three where they do end up. Williams, can you have a clean stop? You can. What about Vasbeck? Kind of clean. Jasper had a okay stop too. Can't really be too upset. And Harry actually came in out in a lot better position than I expected. But yeah, the Saubers have been shafted to the pit cycle, down into 8th and 9th. And we have the red flag I was expecting. Rasek has crashed out, and Ty's entire efforts go down the drain. This is changing things up in a big way.
And there's the contact.
If Rasek had done this 5 laps ago, Ty would have been dancing. I would have bought him a new car. Oh, that is a terrible start there from the Red Bull. He's going to be able to hold up to Sauber though, and because Reverend didn't have much better start, he's actually still safe, Tennerbox. Actually still safe. Opti 4th, Masbeck up to 5th here, or retains 5th. Cosby is falling down like a absolute rock here. Down into 7th, now down into 8th. You have fresh tires, I just had to double check there for a second. Down into 8th for Cosby, Jasper 9th. Dive Bombs 10th. Tennerbox here has arrived and caused a safety car. And that ends this under the safety car. Man literally woke up and jinxed himself.
And ends up making contact with the barrier.
Hippity Hoppity is going to take the win here in Miami. We are going to get Schumacher second. Dreamt on a win, taken away by Red Bull. Dive Bombs gets third. Ty somehow snatches up a 4th with a pit lane start. We have Harry in 5th, Cosby in 6th, not 11th. We have Reverend in 7th, which is definitely going to be a bit disappointing. Petrov in 8th, Vansbeck in 9th, and Jasper in 10th. Now, it did say safety car is ending, but you aren't allowed to overtake until the finish line anyways. And we are on the final lap of the race, so it's not really going to make much of a difference. Bluth gets an 11th place finish. Raptor gets 12th. Nieto 13th. Edster 14th. Tekka 15th. After almost winning last time out. And yeah, it's not been a good one here. Race control. Safety car deployed. What happened now? I think the order is the same. And if we do take a look at the Drivers' Championship, Hippity Hoppity has finally dethroned Parker Petrov. Ty has also chucked his hand into the championship here, being 10 points off the leader. And Reverend now needs to make up 13 points on Hippity Hoppity to be equal. Well, it's going to be important here. There is going to be 1 point to whoever starts pole. But this is getting very, very spicy. And in terms of the constructors here, 10 points separate Mercedes-Williams. McLaren is a little bit further down the road here, and they are going to need, well, let's just say a lot more points, 26 to be exact, on Mercedes to equal them. And as such, I think Mercedes needs a good performance from Hot Dog here, needs Petrov to stand up. And that would be a good idea. We're starting quality off here with a bang. Jasper gets locked up to, gets attacked by a Haas. That could be his, well, gearbox gone. Let us see the qualifying 3 results here. And we have penalties for a lot of you. 3 penalties here. Tennerbox, David, and Nieto has penalties. Hot Dog is starting pretty high up for Mercedes here. He's going to be starting pole, I think. Ty is going to be starting front line with him. Tekka and Harry, second row. Rasek, Reverend, Diebombs, and Nieto with a penalty there. Petrov 11th with Hippity Hoppity. They're starting side by side here for this one. It's going to be kind of funny. Cosby, unfortunately, ends up 13th here, as 14th, Rosberg and Schumacher couldn't do anything in a simulated Q2, apparently.
But there. Oh dear, that's not what they need right now.
That is, that's a bit of an issue, and we'll have to take a look at what it is. That gives Petrov definitely a bit of an edge here. Definitely a bit more of an edge than we maybe expected. Oh, Mercedes tries for an overtake. Petrov back into the podium places here. And right now, it is looking massive advantage Petrov. Hippity hoppity, clean stop. Petrov with a slow stop though basically puts them back together again. The fight will not end. Hoppity gets hit with a failure. Petrov gets hit with a slow pit stop. And once again, there is a fight on their hands for this one. In terms of standings, as they currently are, it's a draw. But Hippity Hoppity will win on race wins, I believe. We do also still have a lot of chances. As you can see, there are 5 potential winners. So we'll have to see who draws the longest straw here. And in terms of the constructors, currently Williams are pointed to win. Mercedes has a 10-point advantage. Williams scoring 11 points more than Mercedes is enough for them to nail that championship and take it home. Has actually found his way up into the lead. Petrov scored up to train. Raptor's going to catch the train. We're going to get a top 9 train here going again. As we are getting close to the final set of pit stop, Tekka has once again forgotten that he needs to keep his tires alive. They are absolutely destroyed. Dog has a mechanical failure. That is going to make life a little bit harder for the Mercedes. Hippity Hoppity asks, who did I touch together? Exclamation mark. It's a mechanical failure on your gearbox, Hippity Hoppity. A mechanical failure, unfortunately. Claudio Pocanaldo could be Kingmaker. And right now he's decided that Tekka is not going to be the king. The Alpine hatred runs deep, apparently, and he decided, no, not you. Okay, so let's go over here. What can Tekka expect from Pocanaldo's shenanigans? Because everyone here, with the exception of Rasek, actually, is in pitting range. And Rasek, if everyone pits, is going to go up into first. That is just a settled case already. Now, in terms of the expectations here, 22 seconds lost in a pit stop, but with a virtual safety car, it's just 17. So yeah, Rasek is perfectly suited here to go up into the lead. And for Tekka, well, if we go up 17, you're just behind Rasek. And look at this man, takes the opportunity immediately, so does Petrov. David decides to stay out. Tennox decides to pit, Raptor stays out, Dogs pits, Hop pits, Reverend pits. Clean pit stops need to be on the menu now for all of these guys. Hard there for first one, clean pit stop. Petrov was actually faster, clean as well. Hippity hoppity. Your tire's going to be my property. Slow there, very slow. Slow enough that Reverend gets out ahead of him. That is not great. I think that puts Petrov in a very, very dominating position. Fastback pits, Cosby is coming into pit. We have Schumacher coming into pit too. Okay, that was clean, but I'm pretty sure Schumacher just pushed the other car out of the pit lane. I think that is what happened. Nice here. I think they're going till the end on these hards. This is going to be a DRS fight all the way till the end. Dog is now playing the absolute wingman here. Unless... Oh! Is equaling out Petrov with a mechanical fault.
But the car's definitely not happy. Surely some kind of fault.
Virtual safety car. Who has binned it? It is Razak. Do we think anyone is going to be insane enough to pit here?
Right, let's follow the action now at turn 7. Whoa, and around they spin. And once it started, they were pretty powerless to do anything.
To me, some strategy is very weird in this experiment. The AI is very, very bad at strategy, yes. Usually you don't notice because you focus so much on your own drivers, but when you focus on the AI specifically, you're going to be seeing some very, very weird stuff. Yeah, Rasik is out. We have a virtual safety car instead of a full safety car. That is a little bit unfortunate because a full safety car would have caused some absolute scenes here. Jasper does pit because he has to, but I think the rest are just going to stay out. Very difficult. And there we go. Yellow flag, front wing gone. Dog assassinating the Williams.
Now we're just proceeding through turn 4. Now there's an inviting opportunity there. Oh, that's quite an impact between them. That will have knocked their confidence, I'm sure.
Do we need to disqualify Mercedes from the World Championship for taking out a championship rival like that? What are we feeling? Should we disqualify Mercedes due to Dog's abuse there? He does get a penalty, which, ironically enough, it's not going to be enough for Hippity Hoppity here. He needs to actually catch Petrov, if Petrov is in first. As bad as that is. Currently, it would still be basically the same here. We could see Hippity Hoppity get up and score 18 points. That's not going to be enough. He needs a little bit more. Final lap is about to begin. Let's see what happens here. Petrov is in danger. Dog is coming for him. We'll have to pray that Dog keeps it on track this time around. Oh. That was dangerous. That was almost. I think Petrov is home safer now. Can't be sent to a shower room anymore. Dog is not close enough unless he makes a mistake himself. For the fight for fourth, David did actually manage to get by with the help of the Arresta into the corner. Oh! There has been an incident further down the track. Jasper needed the last highlight here, clearly. Of course the Sauber gets bullied again. Because why not? Has there been another incident here? No, not really. But yeah. We need to witness Petrov's final win here for the first season. He does take the championship with the win here. We have Dog coming in second. He's going to get demoted a little bit, I do believe, due to the penalty. And Reverend gets fourth. David gets third. Red Bull gets fifth here. Hippity Hoppity, after an honorable attempt, did end up getting sixth place. Did really get screwed over by the damage to his components. Tekka takes seventh. Ty takes eighth. And I think Jasper is still going to get a point here, but it would be hilarious if the 5-second penalty was enough to yeet him out of the points. Schumacher gets 10th. Harry tried his best, was very, very unlucky, ended up 11th. Cosby gets 12th. He's going to get very upset that Harry stole his 11th place. Kloof gets 13th. Rafter gets 14th here. Nieto 15th. We have Aspect 16th. We have Dive Bombs in 17th. And then we have Rasek, Edster, Pocanaldo, unable to finish the race. That was it for our first attempt at the driver grid. That was Clutch Performance. I'd like to thank my teammate Hotdog for support and everyone back at the factory. Sorry for being an assassin. Then we have the two sides of Mercedes. One man praising everyone and the other one just standing there. I'm sorry I murdered the half the grid. That's now the headcanon of how Parker Petra won. I need a picture of that. Like just Parker Petra standing on the podium praising everyone and then just Hot dog standing beside him, looking like traumatized. Half the grid is gone. I did it. It's just good fun though, hot dog. Let's be honest. I'm sorry if you feel bad, but honestly, you made it spicy, you made it fun. You shouldn't apologize for being an assassin. It made it a lot more fun, this thing. And the Drivers' Championship does go to Petrov here. To be fair, they did dominate the first 3 out of 4 races. Had a lot of bad luck today. Let's be honest, a lot of bad luck. So it is deserved. Hippity Hoppity kind of shit that's a very similar fate, all things considered. And Williams did make a very, very honorable attempt here at getting in the fight themselves. So Petrov wins first place, Hippity Hoppity second. We have Rebber in third, Ty fourth, Hot Dog fifth, David sixth, Harry 7th. We have Tenenbox here at 8. Schumacher made it in top 10. Tekka managed the last place in top 10 for Alpine. And further down the road here, we have Dive Bombs in 11th, Cosby in 12th. Once again, didn't get that 11th place he was so fond of. Rasek in 13th, BK and myself, which did only 4 races before we changed to format, are not really part of this. So we give Jasper 14th, Maspec 15th, Coconaldo 16th, Raptor 17th, Edster 9th, 18th? Yes. And the Nieto here, who had 1 point scoring position at P4, they tried the hardest they could. It was very, very fun to watch. 19th place, and then we have, of course, the one and only Floof, the defense merchant with 5 points scored this season in dead last, which has been fun. Constructors then, Mercedes wins that with a healthy lead in the end, but it was very, very close before the last race here, so I think we can be happy with that. So there we have it, the highlights of our first season here. I probably did miss out on some things because, well, I didn't remember to record everything as start of the 5th race showed you, but it was a lot of fun. It was very, very entertaining, and I would like once again to just thank everyone who participated. You guys are what made it possible. You are what made it fun, and we are going to kick off the new grid in just basically under 12 hours. This took a little bit longer than I expected. I want to have it out earlier tonight, but yeah, once again, thank you all for participating in the first season. Let's see if we can make the second season just as good, and hopefully you'll be there for the stream that will be available a little bit later today. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.